at that rate. And that is the price of cement as of this morning.
Join me, your host, One Plot, and the biggest real estate and construction industry players, brands nationwide, an intersection of resource, marketing, and advocacy.
Thursdays, 10 to 10:30 a.m.
on Honor 103.5 FM.
Your best offer yet. For inquiries and advert bookings, call Shegun on 0915 757 0635.
Or Sam Awu on 0807 7774 880. The Landlords on Honor 103.5 FM.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. What's this?
On the 103.5 FM.
You are listening to The Landords, an intersection of marketing, resource, and advocacy for the real estate and building construction industries in Nigeria. For your brand promotions, ad placements, live appearances, and other inquiries, please contact 091-575-70635. 091-575-70635.
Key to freedom. You want to be financially free? Real estate is an access key to freedom, because the land will be increasing in value without you being there. The house will be increasing in value. Most times, some people, when they say real estate, they mean houses. They don't call land real estate. But as far as I'm concerned, they are all together. Land and house are all real estate. So your access key to financial freedom is ownership of land or houses. I'm telling you. Because it increases in value even though it is brick and mortar. And if it is land and it's just dirt, earth, the location changes everything for you. It's your access key.
Good morning and welcome to the Landlords on Radio with yours truly, One Plot. Feels good to be back with you on the airwaves of Honor 103.5 on the FM. How are you doing today? It's a cool, breezy day out here in the Oyo State capital. I'm loving it. Well, we're going to continue our Home and Abroad series on the Landlords Radio Edition today. We'll be getting to hear how things are in Canada right now and in some parts of the UK. Nigerians in the diaspora will be talking to us about what rent is like out there. And there's a big, well, I don't want to say it's a big misconception, but it's a little bit controversial for some people who don't know that should be the roles of a structural engineer and an architect on site. I spoke with some of our architects, and they gave us their opinion on the subject. We'll bring you playbacks if we get enough time to do so. But I'm going to be having a one-on-one with a young, vibrant developer. Is a certified construction expert. Femi Fadairo is the managing director, Tafo Tech Company Limited or Company Limited. We'll talk about the construction industry here in Nigeria, housing home and abroad, and some other interesting topics revolving around building this morning. That's after we bring you some of the happenings in the built industry, especially real estate. Operators are calling on the federal government to simplify the process of land administration, land documentation especially, as a measure to enhance housing construction and home ownership across the country. Citing the current reality in the housing sector, whereby the process of land documentation is somewhat cumbersome and time-consuming across the country, adding that these hurdles, if I may, are impediments for investors. I know some states governments such as Lagos and Oyo are trying to simplify this process. For instance, the Oyo State government recently launched a website where people can transact with its Ministry of Lands, make payments and conduct search. You don't have to be physically present. You could do that from anywhere in the world. Just go on their website, and I think this is helpful, quite helpful. The state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, also made announced some incentives along that line, just like his Lagos State counterpart, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who is also currently granting waivers to people who may be carrying out specific documentation in Lagos. These are things that I think will encourage investors into this sector. Now, you may have heard the story of an Oyo local government worker who was jailed 3 months for illegal land sale. The Oyo State Anti-Corruption Agency announced the conviction of the Assistant Executive Officer with the Estate Department of Lagilu local government, who was sentenced to 3 months imprisonment for 3 counts of official corruption under the Oyaka Law 2019. The agency used the medium to warn civil servants to desist from all acts of corruption, as it only plunges the state into underdevelopment. This will certainly deter unscrupulous government workers from indulging in some of these sharp practices, especially concerning land and property matters in the state. Meanwhile, the federal government has issued a 90-day deadline for subscribers of the National Housing Program (NHP) to complete their payments with an additional 8-week grace period. Dr. Marcus Ogunbi, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, stated that any subscriber who fails to complete payment within the extended 8-week grace period will have their offer revoked. Recall that the first batch of provisional allocation was issued in April after a review of the conditions and procedures for selling houses under the NHP. Now, if you want to find out why landlords and renters alike need tenancy agreement, especially in Lagos and the FCT, you need to jump on the website of Business Day. You find details with Chuka Uroko. The Landlords, in case you just joined us today, now is an intersection for marketing, resource, and advocacy for the building and, shall I say, construction industries in Nigeria today. We try to give you a helicopter view of what's happening in these sectors, just having interesting conversations around building and whatnot. Let's now get talking, if we can. Just a brief introduction. My guest, one-on-one with Femi Fadairo, Tafo Tech Company Limited. That's where he wears so many hats, but he's actually representing Tafo Tech. That's what he tells me. Managing Director, Tafo Tech Company Limited is a young developer doing big things. Femi, good to have you on the Landlords.
Thank you very much, my good friend. Good morning. Nice to be here.
I'm told you guys are having a party this Saturday somewhere.
Where is that? I'm not aware of that. So.
You're not aware of the old school gig?
Oh yeah, up school. So it's
the Old Boys Association.
Yeah.
Government College Ibadan just trying to have a get together this Saturday.
Yeah, our alma mater is having a
Yeah.
a reunion. So
Well, talking about let me just get your opinion about housing home and abroad. I mean, you've lived in different parts of the world,
okay.
most especially the UK.
Yeah.
People are saying that it's now much more difficult to rent houses in the UK. Nigerians in diaspora are now talking. What's your take on this? I haven't lived there for years.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of things have changed since I left. You know, I've been back for 14 years now, but I'm always
Going and coming.
on and off.
Yeah.
So yes, a lot of the property market in the UK is a lot different now, and a lot of landlords would rather put their houses on the short let market
Yeah.
than lease it out on a long lease to tenants. So you know, I would rather just earn my daily £100 than wait for my weekly £400. So hence the reason why there's a huge shortage and there's an increase in the rental market.
They prefer, if I may, Airbnb sort
Yeah,
of.
yes. So the landlords would rather do up their properties, furnish it up. You know, they don't have any issues with evicting tenants, if you will, if the rents are not paid on time. So a lot of them would rather just furnish it up, borrow the money from the bank, furnish it up, and collect the Airbnb money.
Wow.
Yep.
And people are also saying that, you know, you shared apartment is a thing now that you're probably not going to easily find like a flat, a 2-bedroom flat for your young family. You probably, the landlord will probably want it shared. Like, give a room to you, give a room to another
So
person.
depending on the location.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the likes of Greater London,
Yeah.
which is, well, there's a place called the M25. Greater London is slightly outside London, but close enough to London because everything is like a train ride
Yeah.
from the central of London. So houses are slightly cheaper in those areas. And if you're looking within that range, those areas, you should be able to get 2-bedroom apartments. But if you're looking inside the M25, the landlords, you know, even you can't afford what the landlords would throw at you.
Wow.
In terms of rent.
Wow.
You know, they'll be telling you £2,000 for like a 2-bedroom apartment and all things like that. That is quite expensive. So, you know, for your own personal pocket, you'd rather just, who can I share with? Let me look for a family. I'll take a room, you take a room, we share the rent. And it's not more the landlords that are deciding that. Is the financial pockets of people, basically.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking much more about that. We've got Bumi Omotosho from Canada. She's going to keep us up to speed with what's happening with regards to rentals in Canada. What do you think are the key issues with construction across board in Nigeria today? We've got bills. Let me just quickly take your thoughts on that, then we'll pick these bills.
Okay. Well, the Nigerian construction market, it's a very, very dicey one. I kid you not. Where do I start from? Is it the forex fluctuations? Is it the Omonile issues? You know, you've just said somebody, you know, has
Got
been
jailed.
Yeah, got jailed for that. And is it the below par materials that we have packed in the market right now? You know, the list goes on. So, you know, there are major issues. Is it the red tapes of the government as well? Policies and procedures, you know, so the list goes on. So there is a lot wrong with it, and at the same time, there's a lot right with it.
Oh, you know what? Hold that thought. We're going to pick it up right after we pick those bills. In case you just tuned in, it's a Landlords radio edition on the airwaves of Honor 103.5 on the FM. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
On 103.5 FM.
Do you need a reliable and super fast unlimited internet for your business and home use? If yes, iWorld Networks is your solution with our uptime affordable internet via fixed broadband. No data caps and throttling. You can enjoy your distance learning, business meetings, and family time with our reliable internet. With 24/7 proactive customer support and 99.8% uptime. We also provide connectivity for offices, schools, financial services, hotels, government, etc. Chat with us on www.iwn.ng. iWorld Networks, we've got you covered. Sign up and get connected today.
The essence of interior design will always be about people and how they live. It is about the realities of what makes for an attractive, civilized, and meaningful home environment. This is our foremost concern at Mr. Johnson Furniture and Interior Decoration, and this is why we stay faithful to your own taste, because nothing you really like is ever out of style. Mr. Johnson Furniture and Interior Decoration, we specialize in importing and delivering quality royal beds, sofas, lights, and doors to every home across Nigeria. We are located inside Dogafort Filling Station in Leura Junction, Akala Express, Ibadan. Call us up on 080-913-35706 or send a WhatsApp message to 090-445-30230. We don't just sell quality products. Our maintenance team is on standby to give free routine maintenance for a whole year after purchase. Mr. Johnson Furniture, our passion is to bring affordable luxury to every home and offices.
Once you enter Ibadan to enjoy yourself and have a swell time in a swell place with sweet sensation, just go straight to Matchfort Courtyard Hotel and Suites. Matchfort Courtyard Hotel and Suites offers you A+ hospitality in a fantastic environment. Check out the rooms: Standard Deluxe, Super Deluxe, Executive Deluxe, Junior Suites, Executive Suites, Presidential Suites. Superb rooms like Royal Palace, constant air conditioning with switch aroma and plasma TV all over the place. Executive VIP lounge and full bar. 247 power supply with relay of generator. Lovely swimming pools for young and old. Complimentary breakfast. Airport shuttle and car hire services. First class recreation facilities. Gym and spa. Nourish your body with local and intercontinental cuisine. Sunday buffet 11:30 to 4 p.m. every Sunday. Matchfort Courtyard Hotel and Suites welcomes you at number 2 Ebiadejumo Close off UCH Second Gate opposite Bottles Republic Lounge, Agodi GRA Ibadan, your state. Telephone 091-1001-6995 and 091-3552-4814. www.matchfortcourtyard.com.
Hello there. A golden opportunity is here for everyone desiring to invest in farming with a prospect of making great profits and creating wealth. This is brought to you
by Safe Casa Realty.
It's a bountiful package where you buy acres of land with palm tree plantations spanning from 1 year to 1.5 years, while you make huge profits from palm oil, PK oil, PKC, animal feeds, and lots more. Both 1 acre of land and palm trees are sold for just 2 million naira. Also, landed properties with cashew and banana plantations are available for instant sales. This landed property with palm tree plantation is located at Areoje along Ibadan Issayin New Expressway. To therefore enjoy this bountiful package, please call
080-7777-4880.
Buy landed property with palm trees and make great fortunes.
On 103.5 FM.
You are listening to The Landords, an intersection of marketing, resource, and advocacy for the real estate and building construction industries in Nigeria. For your brand promotions, ad placements, live appearances, and other inquiries, please contact 091-575-70635. 091-575-70635.
Hi, my name is Olubumi Omotosho, and I live in Canada, Winnipeg, Manitoba to be precise, and I'll be discussing about the average rent in Canada. So since the pandemic, there's been a big jump of the rent prices, and generally in Canada. So I'll start by generalizing, and then we can look at maybe 1 or 2 to 3 provinces. So the average rent as at 2020, which was the official start of the pandemic, and when we began experiencing, rent increment in Canada, our average rent then was about 1,799 or 1,800. And then around 2021, there was a drop, probably to like 1,670 being an average cost of rent in Canada. And then there was a big jump in 2022, probably due to immigration and of course still the pandemic. And that, as at 2022, it became around 1,850, averagely. And then in 2023, average rent rose to about $2,050. And currently, as we speak in 2024, average rent in Canada is about 2,200. Now, I'll be talking or looking at provinces now, to be precise. So right now, looking at British Columbia, for example, and the city of Vancouver, which is one of the most expensive cities in Canada to live in, the average rent for a two-bedroom, you'd be looking at 3,700. Yes, it's that crazy. And in Toronto, you'd be looking at, for a two-bedroom, you'd be looking at around 3,200 as well. Now, let's come down to where I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. For a two-bedroom, an average rent price would be around 1,750 thereabouts. And then maybe in Alberta, you'd also be looking around 2,600. So there is no doubt that the rent has increased a lot due to so many factors, immigration being one of them, and mostly the influx of international students, the pandemic, and inflation, of course. We're really hoping that maybe rent price would go down a little in the coming year, but as of right now, the prices are crazy. Thank you.
Well, Bumi Omotosho, all the way from Canada, keeping us abreast of how things are, home, or if you like, housing, home and abroad, right here on the Landlords Radio Edition with yours truly, One Plot. Still here with me is Femi Fadairo, Managing Director, Tafo Tech Company Limited. Is an advanced manufacturing engineer and construction guru, if I may. And we're just talking about we just started to talk about the construction industry here in Nigeria. Femi, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so you were saying something about Canada and how immigration is also a thing affecting housing in the UK.
So I didn't really mention immigration as such.
Okay.
The reason being, when the EU issue happened with the UK, it actually left a gaping hole in the whole system. So allowing for vacant properties because all of these Polish people left, the Germans, every European person basically left.
I had to go back home.
So there were a need for people to occupy these properties.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say immigration was an issue of house properties.
It was more of a blessing.
Well, for people coming in, it would have been a blessing. But the landlords didn't see that as the way to go anymore.
Okay.
Renting houses out. Hence the reason why a lot of landlords that don't even live in the UK, they would rather than let their houses off to people living there, they'd rather do the Airbnb. At some point I had a property in the UK, but because I had bad tenants, I had to actually sell the house off.
Wow.
Yes. And if I had known that the revolution of the internet would actually happen, where everybody could literally just rent a house like a hotel now, Airbnb,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't have sold it off. So that's just that.
Now, we're talking about the key issues with construction across the board in Nigeria, from road construction to house construction to all of that. And you were talking about the challenges, the impediments, from the forex issues to substandard products and all that. So continue from where you stopped.
So, well, other issues could be the supply chain.
Yeah.
Now we have like diesel at how much? We
Yes.
all know that we know, what petrol is saying in Nigeria right now.
There's even a scarcity as we speak.
So there's a scarcity as we speak right now. So that's another issue. So as well as that, as I spoke about the Omonile factor, that one scares a lot of people a lot.
Especially for housing.
Yeah, especially for housing. So and then you have quackery. The people that are not good enough, that are not qualified
to be there,
taking on various jobs. So those are the major issues.
Now, what is your take on some of the interesting trends in construction, ideas such as construction robotics and automation, green building and sustainability, drones tech and so on in construction now? Doesn't it fascinate you?
Well, at the end of the day, it's about time I don't think Nigeria has embraced as much technology as we should.
Yeah.
Because I kid you not, these things cost money.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, you have software, drone softwares, for instance, that you'd actually have a view of your property and then feed it into the system, and then it will generate a 3D of what you'd like it to be eventually. So that's a good one. Robotics, already we're using articulated arms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what articulated arms are?
Just me.
Excavators.
Okay.
They are forms of robots, as it is. We have like bobcats. So they're quite, not in small to medium scale projects. Maybe large scale projects, yeah, they're quite good. You have your cranes. Those, it's quite fascinating. Quite good.
Well, we're gonna, have to we'll talk further about construction. We're gonna talk about real estate next time. Next, you agreed that we should have a part B,
that's
a B
fine.
part for this. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about real estate. Well, let's just talk about construction and see what you guys are up to at Tafotech.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just said that you don't think that Nigeria, that our construction industry is embracing innovation and global trends. You don't think so?
Well, the thing is, as I said, these things cost money, and I don't think your average Nigerian who's building his house could actually afford that level. Although our system actually allows for it, in a way. There could be a new technology could come from China today, and you'd see someone without going through the right channel implement it. Do you understand? Not knowing if it would actually stand the test of time. Do you understand? And it will be accepted. So to an extent, Nigeria actually embraces it because the systems allows for it. But the proper tech, for instance, look at cement boards, which is what a lot of people use in building their houses abroad these days.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money. So I don't think a Nigerian real estate person would actually want to use it. You'd rather go for your blocks and all of that. And aside that, with the forex issues, bringing it in it costs a lot of money.
But since you just talked about cement in a way, do you think that we're over dependent on cement for construction in Nigeria, especially now that we're also, I think the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, if what I'm hearing will be, and what I'm hearing will be anything to go by, they're saying that this is likely to be like cement all the way from Lagos to Calabar. I don't know how real that is. I've not been there. But do you think we're over dependent on cement for our construction here in Nigeria?
I think in my own personal opinion, I think it's the right way to go.
Cement?
Yes. For instance, if you've been to, I think I was in Dallas about a couple of years ago.
Texas.
Yeah. And all their roads are paved.
Cement?
Yes.
Wow.
You go to China, you know, the same thing, all paved. So the thing with it is they last longer. They cost a lot more money, but they last longer. So I don't think we're overly dependent on it. We could have like an underlay of cement and an asphalt on top.
But you know, for housing now, a lot of people are talking about alternative housing methods and
greenhouses,
stuff
plastic
like
houses.
Yes, you know, stuff like that. Some people have even talked about mud houses.
Yeah.
Do you think alternative housing, more or less, you know, we already have container houses, you know, that Elon Musk started this. The Chinese are big on container houses now, that you could just, you could have your house manufactured from China, you import it and you put it together like a puzzle, like, you know, to put it together. Do you think that we should also be looking in that direction of, if I may, alternative housing methods and what have you?
It will go a long way into creating a shop, well, blocking the shortfall of housing in Nigeria. But our problem in Nigeria is trust.
Trust?
Yeah. I don't think you and I could trust.
Are you saying we're more or less conservative?
We are very conservative.
When it comes to stuff like that.
Would you trust the plastic house?
I'm not sure. But you need to look at what this, what are they called now? This modular houses.
Modular houses, yes.
I mean, quite interesting. You know, it comes with, it's, of course, it's, what's that thing where you have Siri in it? And
yeah. So the thing is with modular houses, you know, depending on the materials used. Do you understand? That is the key. But as I said, you know, imagine, you know,
this old building, for instance,
taking 2 days to assemble. You know,
who's going to feel safe inside it?
That's the
question.
It's just trust.
It's trust,
you know,
right?
It's trust. It's trust.
Well, before we move into Tafotech to see what you guys are up to, you tell us about the brand and how the business has expanded over the years. It's more of a household name here in Nigeria. Let me get your take on, I know I said before that we'll talk about real estate extensively next time, which is next week on the B part. Now, the real estate sector didn't do too well in H1 of this year, especially due to the adverse macroeconomic realities in the country. People are saying this is not something to cheer about, but what are your expectations for the next half of the year?
Okay, well.
Because investors are a little bit
nervous.
Yes, especially those that have invested in high-end homes.
So the thing is, in Nigeria, well, generally in the world, there's a slowdown everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's a meltdown everywhere. Well, the way they're handling it abroad is totally different from the way we're handling it. Although there are some fiscal measures put in place by the new government that, you know, it will probably work on the long run. And that said, you know, it's everywhere. And the thing I would advise an investor, one, is not to pull out yet.
Where do you even pull out? Your funds are there, the buildings are there.
So the thing is, you could sell yourself short, count your losses, and move.
Well, that's another angle to it.
So that makes your loss absolute.
Wow.
Do you understand? So what I can guarantee you, you know, that the real estate market in this second half
will be better. A lot of people are optimistic that will be.
It will actually be better because first of all, as I said, the measures put in place
by the government,
they will actually eventually yield results. A lot of people have actually abandoned their projects, you know, and there's a shortfall of actually finished properties in the market at the moment.
Yes.
So if you can struggle to finish yours, and then you place your value or your premium on it, it's what you built.
But what about the margin? in terms of like a duplex that was completed
Yeah.
last year or a couple of years ago, but this is just to be safe last year. In terms of pricing, in terms of the price, I mean, it's going to be two duplexes by the same developer, but then different prices because of the cost of building materials. But will the buyer understand this?
So the thing is, at the moment, it's a buyer's market. Do you understand? Because a lot of people are not even a lot of houses are just there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They are spoiled for options, for choice. Sorry. So as a developer, you just need to think of the best way to sort of get rid of it and other ways of actually buffering up your money once you collect it. So, for instance, I would give you a little secret. Do you understand?
Your secret is safe, yeah.
Yeah, well,
especially since we're not on radio.
It's live on radio. So anyway, basically, you have a house going on for 130 million,
for instance,
and you are getting offers of 110 million. Do you understand? And you know, realistically, the value is actually 110 million, 130 million. So I would say collect the 110, and I'd say put 60. The interest rate at the moment is 20%. Put 60 in treasury bills or whatever, and then you get. And then you get that offer, and then the rest goes into.
Well, we're going to talk about not now. We're going to next Thursday when you come back. We'll talk about in the B part of this one-on-one with Femi Fadairo. We'll talk about the strategic growth parts for investors. You just give an insight into that. We'll talk about Dubai, a global real estate destination today. How there could be lessons for Nigeria and the Dubai success story. We'll talk about affordable housing in Nigeria and whether or not the private sector can play any reasonable role in reducing the country's housing deficit without major support from the government. We'll talk about all of that and where your dream real estate destination in the world is. We'll talk about all of that next week. But now let's talk about Tafo Tech. Keep us up to speed with what's happening with the brand. I know you guys have expanded, I beg your pardon.
Oh yeah. Well, Tafo Tech is a company that has been in existence since 1987, thereabouts, 87 to 88. Well, and it's actually started from. It was actually a car sales company initially. That was the initial core competence of it, and as time went on. Tafo Tech went into construction. We started a quarry, Tafo Tech Quarry, that was around Lagos, the Basma Expressway. And the quarry is no more now. And we now went into oil and gas.
Yeah.
Which is Tafo Tech Oil. And from there, we now have a roofing company, a manufacturing company, called Tafo Tech Aluminium, Tafo Tech Roofing Company, as it is. And we have a few event centers as well, Tafo Arena and Tafo Grace. And near enough every year we've tried to expand the business and expand the brand by opening, thinking of new ways to improve ourselves and new ways to employ people and empower people. So that's basically Tafo Tech.
I remember seeing some of your units, your air conditioning units.
Oh yeah.
Tafo Tech.
Tafo Cool ACs.
Tafo Cool AC. Do you guys still manufacture?
So that was an experiment.
Didn't do well.
Didn't do well in the market.
Why?
We had initially there were quality issues.
Okay.
And the market samples that we had, for the 5 horsepower ACs, they didn't do well. But for the 1.5 and the 1 horsepower ACs, they did brilliant. But then,
no longer in the market.
Interest actually shifted. So we didn't proceed with that.
So tell me about where you guys still have your event centers.
Okay, so there is one in Ijokodo, by WAEC.
I think that one's quite prominent.
Yeah, that one. And then there's one in Apata by Woody Estate First Gate.
What's the capacity of the one along?
That's around about 1,000 thereabouts.
Elele. The one around Elele.
Yeah. And the one around Apata.
With enough parking and everything.
With enough ample parking spaces. And the one in Apata too. That's just over 1,000. And with enough parking as well. So
and
there are 3 different halls, banquet halls and seminar rooms, all included in both halls as well.
Now, you guys are also into construction. What about the roofing? Do you still we still find your?
Yeah. The roofing company is actually in Apata.
Yes, I've been there.
By NNPC. So
is it the same one that I?
This the same
will
one.
Look you up
it's
at.
The same one. This has been in existence for over 14 years now.
What kind of roofs do you guys have?
We have long span roofing.
Yeah.
Step tiles roofing, stone coated roofs, clay roofs.
All made in Nigeria.
So the thing is, they're made in Nigeria, and some of them are actually imported products. So, well, most of them are actually made in Nigeria. So we source our raw materials from Color Codes and MINL. So, which is Sumo. These are raw materials, by the way.
Well, you guys, I don't know how you distribute your roofs.
So it could be a business to business, or a business to the users. So you order, and then we run our productions.
Do you have like a website or something?
Website? No, it's just contact.
Physically.
Yeah.
And that's, you said that would be a pattern, right?
So we have our Instagram handle, which is
okay, because people like to see what
we have. Our Instagram handle, our Facebook, which is our Tafotech Company Limited or Tafotech Group. Just search for Tafotech.
Or you just simply go down to Apata. Where's the location again?
It's by NNPC, just after NNPC. So it's the second turn in after the UBA Bank on the left.
I'm sure you won't miss it.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Yeah. Now, building construction.
Okay. Well, it's a pet project of mine, which we are into. So
you call that a pet project?
Well, it's a baby project. Just to be modest, yes.
That's really not a pet project.
So I'm involved in, with a few partners of mine actually.
But the houses look so good. You have your in-house architect, or you do the drawings?
So we have our in-house architects, we have our in-house structural engineers.
I know you have all that. I'm just saying because I love the designs, the ones you have in Oli Estate. I love the designs. Looks very cozy and stuff. And just inches away from, if I may, being terraces. They're not terraces. They're not fully detached buildings, duplexes, but that's like a mini estate in that estate that you have.
So basically, it's a mini estate in that estate. And one of the good things our governor's doing, actually, is this is infrastructure partner of a thing, similar to what you have in Leri Adigun, which is by Basharon. Yeah. So there is an infrastructure partner to the state government.
Who's making sure the roads are paved?
The roads are paved, the street lights are done, and the drainages are well done as well in that neighborhood. So,
I think that, this is one thing about real estate. I know that I was on site. You see those buildings a couple of years ago.
It's actually changed a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Even the, if I may, ROI, the return on investment, like there should be an increment of like how many percent from the value of those buildings now from last year alone.
So
considering the cost of building materials, considering the forex issues and the developmental efforts by the state government, like you said, around the estate now.
Let's say 100%.
Come on, are you telling me those duplexes will be selling for like 250 now? Is that what you're saying?
No. Initially when we started, it was all bushy. Do you understand?
Not quite bushy.
It was, trust me.
Okay, that was maybe
you know, this was before you got there.
Okay, yeah.
And since then, and that's another problem a lot of people have. They don't actually see the bigger picture. Do you understand? They don't see the bigger picture. In real estate, you have to be very brave and see the bigger picture. If a property should start springing up in a certain area, be rest assured that within the next 4 years, you have 4 already starting. So if you key in at that point where it is just coming up, in 4 years, the value of the property that you're buying, it wouldn't be the same. Even if you want to sell it,
it's the best way to hold value.
It is the best way to hold value.
Better than having your money in the bank. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, would you have preferred to maybe you and your partners have those funds, in shares or just in the bank, some kind of fixed deposit?
It's not worth it.
It wouldn't have been.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it because obviously your bank will probably give people like us to use it to
do stuff,
and then.
So the best way to hold value, regardless of what the economy is still real estate. So you're looking at like to be modest, like some 60% increment in your ROI.
So I have a lot of people in the diaspora that are saying, why should I bring my money to Nigeria to come and buy real estate? And I'd say, look at it this way: you get your return on investment quicker and a higher interest rate quicker in Nigeria. Let's assume we're having forex issues, which is like an odd situation right now. You bring like maybe 100,000 to Nigeria pounds, and then you decide, okay, I want to do real estate. Then you start it. Within 3 years or 2 years, you could double or triple it. But if you left that money in England, you can only get like maybe 6%.
If you left it like in a bank or you invested in something. I know Nigerians are trying to, we see that more Nigerian investors are going to the UK real estate sector as well. You once had a property in London.
Yes.
Do you think, if you had to like put investors' funds now, where would you advise them to put this money? Will it be in the UK or here back home?
So at the moment, I would actually put it in Nigeria, but the reason being, and for this reason only, you can turn around your money quicker
in
Nigeria than you would in the UK.
In real estate?
Yes.
Are you serious?
First of all, let's assume you do you want to get like an auction property in the UK. It takes time. Let's assume you want to extend. The planning permission takes time. Do you understand? In Nigeria, it's actually still a little bit better. Do you understand? We are talking red tapes in Nigeria. It's not as bad as the ones in the structured world. So you can turn your money around quicker. And a lot of people in Nigeria as well, most of their strategies at the moment is that short-let market. Yeah. Airbnb. It is just the way to go. You have party villas. There's this guy on Instagram called KG Giwa.
I'm not sure I've heard that name before.
Yeah, KG Giwa.
KG Giwa.
Yeah. So you have, he does amazing things with monies of people in the diaspora. Short-lets, party villa. Imagine investing in Lagos, for instance, and then having a short-let in Lekki around November, December. Every day you'll be fully booked.
I don't know if you remember Patrick Ikanem. Papa,
I think I do.
Yeah. He's actually in the United States. So he told me that the last time he came home, because you talked about Lekki, he said he was in a hotel, but eventually he left he had to leave the hotel to go get an Airbnb in Lekki, and it was he found it more comfortable.
It will be.
So people are really like going for Airbnb instead of
hotels because you have your freedom. You have your freedom. You can have more people there with less less stress. Basically, you can make your own food at will, or order your food, and you'd love it.
And it's well, shall I say safer because of all of the things that happened recently about security in some of these hotels.
Exactly. It's safer, and for instance, you have like 5 friends coming for Dirty December as it is. That what they do now.
I don't know
in
Lagos.
From November,
yeah,
all the way to December 31st. If
it's
you have
time for Airbnb to thrive.
Even around about this summer period as well, which is June, July, August. So you're guaranteed, a good 200,000 naira per day.
200,000 naira per day.
Yeah.
And I get people who say that sometimes when they are out of their base, they prefer to stay in an Airbnb or hotel because if it's cheaper. Sometimes I know people that when they come to town, they come to Ibadan, they don't even go to their houses. They say, I don't want to have issues with, oh God, there's something with the generator and all that. I don't want to stress myself. I just want to come, spend a couple of days and get out. And they don't go to their houses, and they have houses around, and they have the maids and people staying, but they just prefer, let me just go to somewhere where.
So put it this way, how about you come to Nigeria from abroad and you own the house that you're going to be staying in, and when you're going, you put it up on Airbnb. You can monitor your own sales yourself.
Yes.
You can monitor your orders yourself.
So there's a way to put those those high-end properties to good use even before you make a sale.
Even before you make a sale, yes. Even before you make a sale.
Well, thank you so much, Femi Fadairo. Femi Fadairo is the managing director, Tavotech Company Limited. Is a young construction expert, an investor par excellence. He's an advanced manufacturing engineering, an advanced manufacturing engineer, and a construction guru. I know we talked about road construction a while back when they were constructing the. That was during the administration of the last administration of Senator Abiola Ajimobi, and we talked about road construction in Nigeria. We're going to talk more about some of these things in the part B when you come again. That's next Thursday where we'll round this all off. Special thanks to everybody in here, Mr. Stephen, my studio manager, or shall I say, that's the interface, the production interface between the landlords and Honor 103.5 FM. The executive producer of the program by default, that's the director of operations, Samao. Don't forget, our program is open for sponsorship. You heard all the ads. If you want to have yours included, just come to Honor 103.5 on the FM. You come to Bodija here. I think this place is Adibajo, right? Just come into Adibajo, say you're going to Immaculate Communications. I know you can't miss it. You can talk to them, go ask to speak with Samao, or go straight into the administrative block and make your inquiries. If it's anything to do with real estate housing, they know how to get to us. So we're waiting for your partnership, for your patronage, and for your involvement. If you're doing anything that has to do with building construction and one plot, don't forget you can find us online on www.ametrocopy.com. www.ametrocopy.com. Follow the landlords on Facebook. This program is live on Facebook. Well, in case you missed it, just reach out to me or the folks at Honor to get a link, and you can watch back. Femi will be back here with me. Femi Fadar will be back here with One Plot next Thursday when we'll talk extensively about construction, especially building construction in Nigeria. On behalf of everyone, I do wish you a lovely Thursday. We're entering into the weekend. So